Hey everyone, John Wick came out in 2014, just over a decade ago, and it clocked in at a cool 104 minutes. That is slightly over an hour and a half of tightly packed, expertly choreographed action wrapped around a surprisingly heartfelt love story. With four John Wick films, the Continental series, and this upcoming spin-off Ballerina, this franchise has grown into something massive. But today, I'm going to go back to the original, to that iconic film that set it all in motion. I wanted to see if this first installment of the John Wick series still holds up in a world full of bloated runtimes and meandering storylines, but also some pretty good, interesting new content. So, does John Wick still compete with modern films? If so, what makes it so special? What makes it work? And how, in only an hour and a half, does it pull off what so many films today don't seem to be able to manage in 2.5 hours? While you're here, please do give this review a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and drop a John Wick style comment below to let me know what you think and if this film holds up or if it doesn't. Okay, so let's talk about the film that gave us the Baba Yaga. So, what I want to do here is to take kind of a slow look at this film. I did a really deep analysis and slow watch of the movie. So, I'm just going to kind of step through that to give us a look at what really comes through in this film and what resonates and what really holds up, as well as what might not. So, the film, it starts out with this opening with a wrecked SUV just kind of slowly rolling into a loading dock and stopping as it taps the wall, its engine dying, and a blood-soaked man falling out of the door, staggering as he clasps his hand to his bloody side, looking near death. He pulls out his phone and he watches a video with a woman, a beautiful woman, who is smiling and asking him what he's doing. It's his wife, Helen. That's all it takes. 30 seconds, maybe a minute at the most. And we're invested. We know something tragic has happened. We know he's lost someone. And we want to know why. Why is he bleeding? Why is he watching this video? Who is this man? That's John Wick. From there, we rewind and see Helen's funeral, her death from cancer, her final gift, a little puppy beagle named Daisy, delivered to John with a letter telling him that he needs something to love, someone to help him keep going. And Daisy becomes his lifeline and a living memory of Helen. Then, a little later, at a gas station, he encounters a young Russian thug who wants to buy his '69 fastback Mustang. And let me just say, it's a beautiful car. John turns him down, saying it doesn't have a price, and he leaves. That night, the same thug and his friends break into John's house, beat him unconscious, steal his car, and kill Daisy, destroying Helen's gift to him. That's the setup. And that setup alone is more emotional than most action films ever attempt. It's simple, it's devastating, and it's direct. And it gives us a reason to root for him. It also gives us a reason to fear what might come next. So when John shows up at Aurelio's chop shop, he finds out that the man who stole his car and killed his dog is Yosef, the son of Vigo Tarasov, a powerful Russian mob boss. Aurelio punches the guy when he shows up to his chop shop.
Where'd you get that car?
What does it matter?
Which then triggers a phone call from Vigo demanding an explanation. And when Aurelia tells him that he stole John Wick's car and killed John Wick's dog, there is a pause. And Vigo just says, "Oh, before hanging up without another word. And that, oh, that's the moment everything clicks for us. We don't need a backstory. We don't need exposition at this point. That single word tells us everything that we need to know about who John Wick is and what he is capable of doing, as well as what's about to happen.
It's not what you did, son. It's who you did it to.
Nobody?
That nobody is John Wick.
If he can make a Russian mob boss pause, he is a force to be reckoned with. And we get all of that by the 20-minute mark. From there, the entire film is set in motion. That's how you open a film and establish the conflict and the characters in a tight, seamless way that feels effortless. Even the smaller supporting characters help to build this world. Aurelio, played by John Leguizamo, only gets a few scenes, but his presence is memorable and meaningful. Same with Sharon, the Continental's concierge, played by Lance Reddick, whose calm authority and subtle loyalty and kindness to John adds a quiet depth that grows in future films. Each of them fits like a puzzle piece into the larger framework of this world. From that moment, the film becomes a masterclass in visual storytelling, with John Wick opening his hidden arsenal beneath the basement floor as he chips away at who he'd become in order to recover who he used to be. And now it's all coming back. This reveal sets up the first big action sequence in the film, which takes place in his house when Vigo sends a small army to eliminate John before he can retaliate. Dressed in his trademark suit, jacket, and tie, John moves like a force of nature. The choreography of the attack is tight, it is brutal, and it is efficient. No wasted movement, nor flashy, over-the-top tricks, just precise, intentional violence. Despite the action and drama driving the plot, this isn't just a revenge story focused on the son of a Russian mob boss. It's a love story buried under violence and grief. Helen gave him a dog to keep him going after her death, and that dog became the symbol of their love. And the stolen car became an extension of that loss, transforming John's grief into a weapon. John Wick is a character study housed within an action film. His fighting style tells us about his training, how he absorbs hits, redirects them, and controls the damage he inflicts, as well as the damage inflicted on him. Even when he is stabbed by Vigo, he deliberately adjusts where the blade lands so that he can survive and strike back. That's a level of detail that's not accidental. It's baked into the character and the story world. Then there's the Continental itself, the neutral hotel for assassins, based in New York's iconic Flatiron Building. At this point, we don't fully understand the scope of this world, but we can feel it and see its edges. The gold coins, for instance, the rules of the Continental, the unspoken codes of conduct. All of these things add texture and shape to John's world. While in the hotel, Winston, the Continental's manager, played by Ian McShane, warns John that if he dips even a pinky into this world again, it will pull him back in. But for John, this is personal. There is no other choice. Every character reacts to John with reverence or fear, from the Russian mob boss to the local police. For example, when a cop shows up at his door, sees the bodies on the floor, and casually asks, "You working again, John?" John replies, "Just sorting some stuff out." The cop nods and walks away. No questions asked, just respect and a healthy amount of caution. Through all of this, we see the rules falling into place that hold this world together. Rules that everyone obeys or else. The structure is invisible, but clearly present. From the way contracts are handled to the way the Continental functions as neutral ground, We don't know about the High Table yet, but its influence is already felt in the first film. Driving the final act is this $2 million bounty that Vigo puts on John's head, and we see Marcus, played by William Dafoe, an old associate of John's, and the only person from his former life to attend Helen's funeral. He chooses friendship over profit. And, at the funeral, there's this really quiet understanding between the two men, between John and Marcus. And very few words are actually spoken. And that really does establish the depth of their relationship. Marcus's expertise and protection give John just enough room to survive. And because we already understand their bond, it doesn't feel like a deus ex machina at work. From there, John goes on the offensive, literally torching the vault hidden within a church that holds the money and blackmail materials that sustain Vigo's empire and his legacy. It isn't just revenge, it's erasure. As he works his way closer and closer to his target, and after killing Vigo's son, John is ready to walk away. He's, throughout this film, worked methodically, just hatcheting into that center point where he can finally get to Yosef. And at that point, he's done. He could walk away. He could let sleeping dogs lie. However, Vigo retaliates by murdering Marcus, which kind of seals his own fate as John comes for him. The film ends with John wounded but alive, stitching himself up within an animal shelter and actually freeing one of the dogs he finds there who is crying out for freedom. And there's this weird underlying connection between John and this dog, kind of stitches the whole thing together, leading back to Daisy. And the final scene shows John walking with this new dog through New York. And in that quiet moment, we're reminded of Helen's words that John needs to find someone to love. And truly, as violent as this film is, it really is a love story at heart between John and Helen and his memory of his wife. On the surface, John Wick is a very simple story of an ex-hitman out for revenge, driven by the pain of losing his wife and the sweet little dog she gave him as a sign of her love. Sometimes it's the simplest stories that allow a film to create the deepest character connections. So here we are, over a decade later. Does John Wick as an action film still hold up? If you have gotten this far, it's obvious that the answer is yes. Without a doubt, yes, John Wick holds up as a film. Honestly, I think it might even be fair to say that John Wick is even better than I remembered. It's like a bottle of fine wine. He just gets better in time. It's a love story in disguise, framed by expertly executed action and grounded by a character who we instantly sympathize with and believe in. What tips the scales into making John Wick an iconic action film, beyond the character development and well-written story, is the attention to detail within the production that crafted a solid and believable world in which a man like John Wick would exist along with all that infrastructure needed to sustain the world. It's all there, just below the surface. Even if we can't see the full scope of it, we can feel it. As we look ahead to the release of Ballerina, it's clear the studio isn't ready to let go of this universe, and there are clearly so many other stories to tell. After rewatching John Wick, I'm really excited to see where the franchise goes next. But if Lionsgate really is looking for a way to keep this world alive, I would actually love to see a film about young John Wick. But we've only seen the man forged by loss and violence. What about the boy? Who was he before he was the legend? What turned him from a legend into the Baba Yaga? And that's it for now, guys. Please do remember to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and let me know what you think of John Wick, the OG, or any of the follow-up films in the comments below. So please do chat with me below and let's talk. And while you're here, hey, why not check out one of these reviews? Happy viewing, everyone. See you all again soon. Bye-bye for now.